and thank you to be here. Only before starting, only some things, important things. One of them, we sent an email remembering this, but only to say that all the conference will be recorded. And probably we are going to edit and upload the video on YouTube, on our channel on YouTube. If there anyone that doesn't want to be recorded, please let us know, because you can sit on the corner. That camera is not arriving there. Okay, the camera is always focusing on all the people or the people who is speaking only. Sorry, if you're going to do an intervention, then the camera will be focused on you. But if not, not. Okay, then thank you very much to be here. This is the 5th occasion we are organizing this Congress for family-friendly municipalities. You know, this was an initiative that we started in 2018. We presented the idea just here on this same building, but in the European Economic and Social Committee. And a year after, this idea became a reality. We started with very few municipalities, and now we are proud to say that we are almost 170 municipalities from 12 European countries. And the network is really, I think, well established with some periodical activities for municipalities. The big idea is how to become a territory attractive for families, because we have a lot of problems regarding demographic crisis, the declining of population, but also how to invest on human capital, housing, urbanism. So we have many problems in our cities, but we think or we believe that most of them are related with family policies. You know, also this problem of mental health, loneliness we have in all Europe, that they are increasing, not only in Europe, but in many countries of the world. Then we need to face this challenge, and we are convinced that we need to advance towards a more family-friendly Europe, to have this human capital and to grow and to have a future for our welfare system. And this starts from the base, from the local policies that are closest to the citizens. Then thank you very much to be here. Thank you very much to all the representatives of municipalities that are here, that are going to share your good practices with us. The idea of the network is precisely this, to share and to learn one from each other what is doing on family policies, because sometimes you are in a municipality and you say, okay, what can I do? You need ideas, you need initiatives that are working, and sometimes exchanging these good practices between different European countries, you can have ideas, you can adapt these ideas to your municipality, and these ideas can be working very well and going towards this more family-friendly Europe. Then, after this introduction, I'm Raul Sanchez, I'm the Secretary General of the European Large Families Confederation. I'm also the European Network of Family-Friendly Municipalities. I would like to give the floor to Mercedes Hernandez. Mercedes Hernandez came from Spain. He's in charge of institutional and international relations of Masfamilia Foundation. Masfamilia Foundation, I think, is now the leader, not only in Spain, but also in Europe. I don't know if, but in the world, in the certification of family-friendly policies of companies. The idea that Mercedes is here is because we have the network of family-friendly municipalities, but on this occasion, on this Congress, we are going to announce a new initiative of our organization, that is the European Network of Family-Friendly Companies. Because companies and municipalities, companies are part of the territory and they have to be aligned on the same way. This is the reason that Mercedes is here, because this is our partner. You know, as in the European Network of Family-Friendly Municipalities, we had two parts of Italy, you know, Trento and Alghero in Sardinia as technical advisors of the network. Masfamilia Foundation is our partner for companies. And Mercedes, thank you to be here, and I'm happy to give you the floor to talk about this idea and your role in it. Okay. No, only an introduction. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Raul. I was thinking I had to do my presentation now, and I know that it's going to be later. No, we are very happy to be here, to be invited by ELFAC to be part of this great initiative, this European Network for Family-Friendly Municipalities.
You need to go to the left, yes, and switch off, please.
Okay, now it's okay?
Because the camera, yes.
Okay, sorry. So I was saying that I'm in name of Fundacion Masfamilia. I'm very happy, really happy to have been invited by ELFAC to be part, last year, to be part of the European family-friendly municipalities. And we are proud to present today this new initiative, this European Network for Family-Friendly Companies. And I will, my role here today is going to be to explain why is it so important, the partnership between territories, municipalities and companies, and what you can do and what we are doing from Fundacion Masfamilia to help territories and companies in this matter. So thank you very much and very happy to be here today with you.
Thank you, Mercedes. And now I would like to give the floor to Kinga. Kinga is member of the Hungarian Large Families Association. He's member also of the King's Institute in Hungary for Family Policies and Demography. She's also member of the European Economic and Social Committee, just in this same building, but on the other side. And we are happy also to having you here. And I give the floor to you.
Thank you very much, Raul, and I would like to say good morning to everyone today and to greet you. A little bit also on behalf of our President, Seamus Boland, who is President of the European Economic and Social Committee, who was invited to this event, but he couldn't come, and therefore I would like to convey some of his ideas in my double role as being a member here in the European Economic and Social Committee, but also, of course, representing large families here in the European Economics and Social Committee. So dear Madam President, dear Madam Director, and dear Mr. Secretary General, representatives of municipalities and local governments, of family associations and colleagues, and of course the organizers who made this event happen. It is a great pleasure to welcome you to the, on behalf of the European Economic and Social Committee, which is the voice of organized civil society in Europe, at this 5th Congress of the Network of Family-Friendly Municipalities. For those of you who are less familiar with the committee, I am explaining in one sentence that it is a consultative body of the European Union, which brings together three big groups of organized civil society, the group of employers, which are business organizations, the trade unions, and civil society organizations, including farmers' organizations, environmental NGOs, but also youth and family organizations that I said I am also a member of this group. The Congress focuses on a very powerful idea. This is the idea, the freedom to stay. And in 2024, former Italian Prime Minister Enrico Letta, in his report, Much More Than a Market, introduced this concept. He said that alongside the four freedoms of the EU single market, the freedom of movement of goods, services, and capital, and of course the people, we also need a fifth freedom, which is freedom to stay. He also explained what this means in practice. It means that people who should not be forced to leave their home region because of a lack of jobs, housing, services, or opportunities. There cannot be a real freedom to move if we cannot guarantee the freedom to remain. Today, many regions in Europe are losing population, as also Raul explained in his introduction. In some regions, young people are leaving, and families struggle to find affordable housing. Basic services can be also limited, and this weakens territorial cohesion and social stability. In all this debate, housing is a very central issue, and our committee has been working for years now on affordable and sustainable housing. Many of our recommendations have been reflected in the European Commission's first ever affordable housing plan, which was published in December. And our President, Seamus Boland, has strengthened cooperation with European institutions, particularly the Committee of Regions, because the solutions must be people-centered and locally grounded. How serious the situation in Europe in terms of housing, I am going to share with you two data, which I think we all should keep in mind. More than 5 million households with children are unable to maintain adequate indoor temperatures, exposing family members to serious health risks, and around 7 million children live in overcrowded, damp, or structurally unsafe dwellings, conditions that undermine cognitive development and emotional well-being for these children and for their families. If families cannot afford to live in a place or they are not safe in their homes, they need to move. And this is why the committee is currently initiating a new opinion together with the Cypriot presidency. Cyprus is holding the presidency of the Council of the EU, which should be family-oriented housing policies. I'm also involved in the drafting of this opinion, and therefore I am very glad to be here and to listen to your ideas, how municipalities are delivering on this idea of freedom to stay. What are your good practices, not only in terms of housing, but in terms of being family friendly, because we can implement, we can bring these good practices that you are going to share here to this opinion and direct it towards to the Cypriot presidency, but also to other EU institutions. So I am very much looking forward to listening to you, and please let me know if you have any questions related to the committee, and I am giving the floor back now to Raul. Thank you.
Köszönöm szépen. Thank you very much, Kinga. And now I would like to give the floor to Regina Maroncelli. Regina Maroncelli used to be the president of the European Large Families Confederation. Now she's vice president. She's vice president and in charge of the European Network of Family-Friendly Municipalities as coordinator, and also this new initiative of family-friendly companies. Then, Regina, thank you to be here.
Thank you, and welcome to everyone. I think this is a particularly important Congress. We arrived at the 5th edition, and it's a very nice target for us. But this is particularly important for many reasons. It is from the number of municipalities from Italy, for example, that are present here, and the new collaboration with the municipalities of Alghero, which is giving a new life to the Italian network of municipalities, and I hope to the European one as well. It's important because we are launching a very a beautiful dream. We have this European network of family-friendly companies. Before, companies were only partners of the big one, of the network of municipalities. Now they have their own network, and we are working on this with a lot of enthusiasm. Then I would say that being here is getting more and more important for a political point of view. You, municipalities, are gaining a new weight in the European arena. With this, with your presence here, you are saying to Europe that families are important. probably they are the most important thing for you, target asset for you, and should be also for the European policy. And being here, you show that it is possible to have family-friendly policies, and it is possible to work on natality and family well-being. So I think this way we will, if we grow bigger and bigger, we will get stronger, and we will be able connecting with other networks. We are working a lot on this, trying to establish new connection. To remind Europe that at the heart of its work should be family, should be persons. So we have, I think, a very important job to do here. And then, in a way, the title of this Congress, for which I thank Kinga, because she had this idea first of talking about the freedom to stay. It is very prophetic. We had the pleasure to speak with the cabinet of Mr. Fitto yesterday, and they told us that they are working on a strategy on the right to stay, and they will work particularly with municipalities. So we beat them in time. We arrived first because, not because only because we are good and bright, but because we know the real needs of families, the real needs of people. So I'm very glad, and I think this is a prophetic name, and I hope this will help us in the future. In this introduction of mine, I would like to greet all of the municipalities, councillors, vice mayor, who are here, mayors who are here, one by one. It will take a little minutes, but I will try to be as fast as possible, because I would like, first of all, that we meet each other and we get to know each other, even in this short time. But this is an opportunity I don't want to miss. So first of all, I would like to thank the Comune of Alghero, the municipality of Alghero, which is here with a very important delegation for people, 6 people maybe, and they have believed in this project since the beginning. The idea of the European Network of Family-Friendly Municipalities was born in Alghero after the Italian Network of Family-Friendly Municipality. So I would like to greet Maria Grazia Salaris, for family councillor for assessor for family policies and community well-being. Where are you? Okay. Enrico Dagger, assessor for programming and financial balancing, and Dr. Alessandro Alciator, who is here with them. I would like to greet Castellón in Spain. They are here with Carlos Gomez, assessor for media. I would like to greet Foligno and Lorenzo Schiarea, assessor. Where are you? Foligno, okay.
Castellón, Alberto Vidal, the councillor.
Councillor Alberto Vidal, okay, sorry. Thank you. Foligno, Lorenzo Schiarea, assessor for family policies. Krakow, Mazera Pasco, plenipotentiary, and Margarzata, terrible. Wawrinska, thank you for being here. La Plania, sorry. It's my own writing, so I even don't know how to read that. Spain, Albero Vidal, Guerrero Castellón, yes, councillor for family. Then, we have the city of Volos, Greece. Where are you?
They have not arrived.
Oh, they are not arrived yet. What a shame. The city of Verbeno, from my province, the city of Verbeno, Vice Mayor Elisa Bollis and Diego Mosca, Councillor of Social Affairs. Thank you for being here. Trento, Italia. another city from Italia, hello. Alessandra De Grande, Councillor for Family. The city of Orihuela, Spain. I was sure it's written like this, but Spain. Maria del Carmen, Portugal. Where are you? Hello, hello. Good. Torre Vedras, Portugal. Silvia Silva, hello. Head of a social office. Lole, Portugal. Did I write it? Say,
they have not arrived.
Oh, they are not arrived yet. Dinia, okay, hello, hello. Sofia Zales-Richert, Team Coordinator in Culture, and Justina Vicenti, Education Project Manager, Coordinator, sorry. Albergaria Avella from Portugal. Not arrived yet. Oh, what a shame. Governo de Cantabria, yes. Gonzalez Bradley.
Yes, they are there, yes.
Oh, hello, thank you. Of the city of Brussels, Romania. Thank you for joining. You are the first city of Romania joining the network. No, the second, but. Okay, yes, you're right. But anyway, we're very glad that you're in because it's a beautiful city. We all have to go and visit. Diacono, we have Mrs. Diacono, local councillor, and Roxana BQ, deputy director. Okay, oh, well, I've done it. Thank you for being here and for trusting us. One more thing. Maybe if you arrived at the international airport here in Brussels, you saw this very big picture, and that says, realities we can, it's a picture of the, made by the European Commission. And it says, realities we can't ignore. As the world changes, the European budget must adapt. And then it says, invest in what matters. So I think that if they really do what they write so big in the airport, they should invest in families and people, invest in what it matters. And let's hope for that. Thank you.
Grazie mille, Regina. Then Raffaele Fitto, the Executive Vice President for Cohesion and Reforms. He's not able to be with us now because he's in Malta in a mission there, but he has sent a video to welcome all the participants on this Congress. And also we have to say that we were yesterday received by the cabinet, the head of the cabinet and other people of the cabinet of Fitto, and really they are committed. And they announced us, this is very is new news, that the cabinet of the Mr. Fitto wants to establish like a big summit of cities of Europe. They also want to start cohesion and reforms of Europe starting from cities. And they were saying not big cities. When we say cities, we say small municipalities, middle municipalities, big municipalities. Maybe they want to start having meetings with the associations representing municipalities in each country, but to have a big summit of cities of Europe. It's interesting. Then we are going to listen to Mr. Raffaele Fitto.
Dear distinguished speakers, honorable participants, thank you for the invitation to address you today at this important event dedicated to families, cohesion policy, and the freedom to stay. Regions, cities, municipalities, and local communities are where Europe's future is built. They are places supporting growth and jobs, innovation, and developing cohesive communities. At the same time, they face many challenges, from unemployment and poverty to housing and living conditions, demographic pressures, crime, and climate challenges. To address these, there is a need for action at EU, national and local level. Cohesion policy plays a central role in EU in supporting regions and municipalities across Europe. It provides significant investments and support reforms, creating growth and jobs, strengthening resilience and safety, and providing affordable housing, essential services such as education and training, health and transport. The mid-term review of cohesion policy is a clear example how cohesion policy can provide support to address new challenges, some of which are directly relevant to families such as housing. At the same time, cities and municipalities, both in urban and in rural areas, need a tailor-made approach beyond the mid-term review. This is the reason that one of my top priorities last year was to launch an EU agenda for cities, adopted last December. This agenda will streamline fragmented EU support and integrate cities of all sizes better into EU policymaking. It will give them a stronger voice and support municipalities across a range of policies. But this is only the beginning of the process. I will continue my close engagement with the local authorities to see through its implementation, but also to develop other related initiatives such as strategy on the right to stay. This is the right for every European to live and thrive in the place they call home. Our goal is to build attractive communities where people and businesses thrive, where young people and families with children can develop a future for themselves, where people of every generation have opportunities and can find quality jobs, access quality public services, and enjoy a good quality of life. Ladies and gentlemen, cohesion policy is making a concrete difference on the ground, but this depends on partnership. Collaboration is key to this process. I welcome your ideas and contributions as we prepare this initiative. Let us continue to work together to ensure that we have prospering municipalities and the right to stay becomes a reality for every European citizen. I wish you a fruitful event and look forward to the outcome of your discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much for these speeches in the opening of this Congress. And now we are going to deliver the diplomas of the municipalities attending this Congress as members of the European Network of Family-Friendly Municipalities. I would like to ask Regina Maroncelli and Kinga as representative of the European Economic and Social Committee to be here in front of this table to deliver the diplomas. And please, municipalities can go here to deliver and receive the diploma, to take a photo, and you can go to your seat. And after receiving all the diplomas, we are going to take a photo group of all the municipalities here. And not only the municipalities with diplomas, but also other municipalities. We have the logos of the municipalities to show on the picture, also printed. And then please go there, and we are calling the municipalities to receive the diploma. Yes. No, the order is the order. I have the diplomas here. It's not any order, but the first one to receive the diploma is the municipality of Orihuela, Spain. Mari Carmen, Portugal, yes. Regina. And Kira, if you can take photos, yes, from the front, yes. Perfect. The second one is the municipality of Torres Vedras from Portugal. If you are here. Torres Vedras, they have not, yes, it's there. Okay, perfect. Silvia. Regina.
Thank you.
The municipality of Verbeno in Italy. Municipality of Brașov, Romania. The municipality of Duento, Italy, Duento. The municipality of Gdynia, Poland. Sorry, Poland. Municipality of Todi, Italy. Todi is here. They have not arrived yet. Okay. Villaverde, Portugal. Are they here? No. Okay. Then Albergaria Bella. No, they are not arrived yet, but they are arriving. I know. Galapagar, Spain. Foligno, Italy. Alghero, Italy. Castellón de la Plana, Spain. Krakow, Poland. Yes. Yes, they are there. Please, no, you can stay here, and all municipalities with diploma, please come here for a photo group, and I'm going to give you the, no, I'm going to give you here, yes. after this break for the diplomas, congratulations to all of you. We are very proud of you because really you are making reality this family-friendly Europe on your territories. Then I would like to invite to the floor to Luciano Malfer. Luciano Malfer really is with us from the beginning. He was really the brain after this idea because he started the family festival in Trento many years ago, and not only the festival but also developing really how to do a strategy from municipalities for families, and all this work is now done in the Bruno Kessler Foundation, where Luciano is working now as really as a professor and a developer of how to manage family-friendly territories. Then I invite Luciano to talk about this territorial attractiveness, innovation, and people. You can go to your place, and if you need, yes, for the slides. Then, Luciano, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning to everybody. Thank you, ELFAC, for this important congress. For me, it's really an honor to be here to show our model of well-being policies. We changed the focus in this last year. I think the new concept is the family-friendly position in the companies, in the municipality, but we have to improve the model and to speak about attractiveness in the region. And the situation is terrible. The focus is always immer the people, but in change the situation. Okay, my speech is about territorial attractiveness, innovation, and people, and I want to focus my speech in three key topics. The three topics are the three epochal transitions. We live in this really a big change, understanding tipping point. This is the word that I want to speak about in this Congress. It is important to know this concept. Tipping points in deep structural change. The second point, the second focus point is the people strategies, putting people back at the center of the development, and the attractiveness function. This is a new concept that we study in Trento, in Bruno Kessler Foundation. This is really a big foundation that worked about innovation, technological innovation, but in this concept we have a lot of centers that study people strategies, and we worked in this concept of the attractiveness function, transforming quality of life into territorial value. The family, the natality is in the center of the question, and I want to explore these three key topics in this speech. Three typical transition. I think that you know this concept, but maybe you don't know. I want to give more information about these three transitions. The transitions are three: demographic, environmental, and digital. Are really important situation, important transformation that influence our life every day. And about this, the three epochal transition refer to digital, demographic, and environmental change that are pushing society, the economy, and in territories toward critical tipping point. Okay, this is the concept, tipping point. I don't know if you know this concept, tipping point. The tipping point is the moment when the system seems calm and under control, but the hidden line is already crossed, and from that point on, even the smallest flutter of wings can unleash a change that cannot be stopped. Okay? We look about this concept, tipping point. This is a symbol, this is a stone, and the tipping point is this. The next slide. And is a moment when a system seems stable, but then crosses a critical limit and changes quickly in a way that cannot be reversed. The tipping point is this. You know, the change of the soil, no? This stone, when it go over this tipping point, is really a speed transformation. Recognizing it is crucial to manage change, especially when the curve bends and its inclination suddenly shifts. Without anticipation, the consequences become severe and the problems escalate rapidly. Okay? And butterfly effect, when we are near this tipping point, every little question, butterfly effect, turns small action into irreversible outcomes. But the situation is more complicated. We have not only one tipping point, we have 3 tipping points. Today the situation is more complex. We face 3 tipping points at the same time. These 3 systems influence each other and make the situation stronger. We are getting close to invisible limits where problems can no longer be controlled. The tipping points are 3. We are 3 epochal transformation. We are this situation. Okay, the butterfly fly is in our context. And we make a focus in every of these tipping points. The climate transition reaches a tipping point when environmental change passes a critical limit and starts a process that cannot be controlled. Behind this point, the Earth system moves toward unstable conditions such as glacierless forest collapse and ocean acidification. We know, no? We discuss about this, the green transition, and this is a tipping point. We know, no? The time in the line under, and where is the tipping point? We don't know where is the tipping point, but we are in this situation, the transition. We have overpassed this point, critical point. We don't know where we are. We don't know. The digital transition. The digital transition enters a tipping point when innovation suddenly accelerates and technology rapidly become part of everyday life. My foundation studies especially in this context, digital transition. This acceleration follows Moore's law, where computing power grows fast and change spreads quickly across society and daily life. An example of tipping point, adoption of email. Email, for us now the email is normally, but when started, this email user is very new. A tipping point can be seen in the use of the email, almost unknown before 2000, and it is now part of ordinary daily life. We are over the email innovation is normally for us. Adoption of smartphones, okay, is another big innovation. Tipping point use of electricity. Electricity shows a clear tipping point once unknown. Today it is essential. It is now in almost every home and used by everyone every day. This example is important. For another really important transition is artificial intelligence. This example helps us understand what is now happening with artificial intelligence, which is becoming a basic tool in daily life. This is the situation in artificial intelligence. Thank you. And we have changed the type of work. No? And what is the tipping point when the new technology substitutes the human? Or not in every work, but a lot of work. Okay? This is another tipping point. This is the tipping point that is especially for this Congress, no? The demographic transition. The demographic transition is entering a critical phase across all continents. It's not a problem of Italy, of Europe. It's global, this problem. Fertility rates are declining, and the risk of moving below replacement levels, 2.1 children per woman, the level needed to keep the population stable, is increasing. What is the point of no return? We don't know this point, but the situation we know. No? You look all the continent, Asia, America Latina, Africa, Oceania, North America, Europe, number of children for women. Now, in next year, the variation, the change is really a big problem, a mondial problem. What is the tipping point of no return? We don't know, but we have this problem. But we have not one problem, we have three problems at the same time. The three epochal transition with the three global tipping points at the same time, the people dimension is under pressure. This makes it essential to develop a people strategy to ensure the long-term sustainability of territories. In this context, the redemption of people become the true turning point for the future of Territorial. This, for me, is very good, this question, the redemption of people. No? The people was not important. Important was the economy, is the environmental, the people. We have a lot of people. It's not so. No, the redemption of people is really a new concept. Okay, the second question, transition, the question about the tipping point, the importance of the people strategy, the family strategy in this concept. The people strategy. A people strategy is essential. With fewer children and an aging population, people are becoming scarce and social systems are at risk. Investing in people is the key to keeping territories active, resilient, and sustainable over time. This is really the change of paradigm. A people strategy, not environmental strategy, not only economic strategy, people strategy. The people at the center of the policies. This is a good image. It is Saint-Tropez is a village in Sicily, in Italy. A family strategy make the difference. People strategy make the difference. The people are the scarce resource. The redemption of the people. The people strategy, the effects of the absence of a people strategy are devastating, especially for marginal territories and essential services. On one side, these territories face desertification, with communities and services disappearing. We look at the city without people, the countries, village without people, the companies without people. Okay, we don't have more people in marginal areas. This is important for the people strategy. We don't have more people. At the second time, on the other side, the working age increases to ensure services at the sustainability of welfare. The services are changed. The people that work are changed. With the question of the elderly of the people. The new services are so, you know. There's an hospital. We have older people with medical. We have older people that drive the taxis. We have older people, older teachers that are in the classroom. We have older women that work in the economic services. This is an example of service, child services. No? First year, we have a lot of children, a lot of people, but change the situation. The people are few, and the age of the men is increasing, and the condition for the climate change, and maybe we have the robotic system. This is an example, but the situation is really not good. It is important to have a people strategy. Paradigm shift. We need a paradigm shift, and I think this network, the ELFAC network, with this new concept that we work in to improve the well-being of families is really important. We have to change the paradigm why the family policies are not social policies. This is a change of paradigm. Are economic policies. This is the change of paradigm. People and families must no longer be seen as a cost, but as a key resource for social cohesion, economic sustainability, and the future of territories. This means a deep cultural change in society, reshaping values, priorities, and policies around people and families as a shared and strategic asset. The situation are absence of people in the three-epochal transition. Okay, family strategy make the differences, but attention, now we have this context, three-epochal transition, but we have another question, more complexity. It is a new cultural model. A new cultural model is needed. We need a new cultural model, one that shows the value and beauty of the people and families as a foundation for society, territories, and sustainable economic development. Today, families and children are not at the center of the public debate. Cultural models have changed, and attention is often focused on other priorities, leaving people, families, and children in the background. Attention. This is the new cultural model. Do you know DINK, dual income, no kids? We have a lot of good policies, but if the young people don't want children, we don't have people. It's really important, the new cultural. Another question is this. DINK, dogs instead of kids. We have a lot of animals in the home. We don't have children, but a lot of animals. Another is this. Be the perfect temporary solution to any problem. We have a young situation, no? Is not generally, but we have this situation. In Italy we have. And I think people, the perfect definitive solution to any problem. Okay. The last point, the attractiveness function. This is my foundation, the place, and we study this new concept, the function about the attractiveness. We need people in the region to improve the economy of the region. At the same time, we make economic investment, but we have to make family investment. Okay, the attractiveness in the context of declining birth rates, people are becoming scarce, and the territorial attractiveness is a key factor of competition. I speak about welfare 3.0. Responds with a holistic model that values local resources and integrated services working together. The goal is to attract and retain people, ensuring the long-term sustainability of territories. We look, this is situation in Italy in more than 10, 20 years. You know the region, you look the region that have more population and the region that have no more population or decreasing of population. We are in this situation. The competition in the region in Italy is to attract people. My region is this. Lombardia and Lazio are the capital of the state. Roma attract more people. Milano is our center of economic, is more attractive. In the other region are not institutional region, and the situation is a little different. We have to create a holistic system. Okay, the function of attractiveness. Holistic model requires to connect in three levels that are fully interdependent. The micro level, the meso level, and the macro level. The micro level includes organizations and local authorities, such as companies and municipalities. But is important, but we have to work more about this. The meso level is made of networking, the network of companies, the network of municipality, the network of municipality and companies. The macro level is the region in which these municipality and companies work. Okay, the function is under V1, 2, 3, and other elements. And the function of attractiveness is studied at the Fundacion Bruno Kessler as a real case study. FBCAP, the name, works on attracting and keeping people, researchers, and companies. And in December 2024, these topics were supported by an agreement with the Comune of Alghero, okay, grazie, and the Northwest Sardinia Research System. We combine the system with the system of research. Research is a new concept, working together about this question. And what about any word about the function? Okay, the micro level, okay, the elements are corporate welfare. We have to improve the corporate welfare. We have to have this model in a micro level. This is the location in Foundation, and we use our brand, our logo, FBCAP Foundation, and we have really a big welfare company plan. We have a lot of flexibility, money, support, a lot of system. And the function at second level, meso level, we created a network of companies that we have in our network more than 2,500 employees working on joint network projects, a collaborative approach to shared welfare and people-focused initiative. We have this meso level. Is not only FBCAP, you know the FBCAP with the point, and the system is more great, and we have an interplan, another plan of interwelfare, which a lot of companies, and the last level is the region, the territory. The territory is Trentino. We have a lot of point of force in Trentino, the Dolomite, the system of castle, good viability, the wine, the good mobility, the lake system, and so on. And we have to use this system to attract people, not only with our welfare or the network welfare, but the region welfare, okay? This is the system, regional system, holistic system. And we use the logo of Trentino. We use three types of logo, FBCAP, Trentino, and our network. This is a holistic approach in which we work all together. Attention, the function of attractiveness. In a context of territorial competition, all elements at the micro, meso, and macro levels are essential and interdependent. This means that if even one of these elements is missing, the overall functions drop to zero. And this can seriously determine the competitiveness of the territory. Micro, meso, and macro are interdependent. Remove one and the function collapse. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I don't know if some of you wants to have any question, or we can have questions at the end before lunch. Perfect. Then thank you, Luciano. And now I would like to invite to the floor to Michał Michalski. He's the president of the Institute for Family and Society Studies Foundation in Poland, in Warsaw. And really, we meet Michał in most of the most important conferences on family and family policies. And really, it's very interesting to listen him talking about towards a resilient future of Europe, the role of municipalities in the demographic change. Thank you, Michał.
Okay. Hello. Good morning. Thank you very much, Raul and Regina and all the organizers for the invitation. I'll just set up my timer, okay. I don't have the presentation, I just have my, some notes, so I will sometimes look into my laptop, but generally I will be speaking without the slides, that's one thing. And I am not from Warsaw, I am from Poznań. Raul mentioned that I'm from Warsaw, I'm from Poznań, so Midwest Poland. And I have the pleasure to work at the Adam Mickiewicz University in Poznań. In the field of business ethics, economic culture, demography also, and thank you very much. And I have the pleasure also to be the president of the Institute for Family and Society Studies, which is the foundation that makes expertise and research in the fields of family policy, demography also, how family is important for social and economic development, and also we do family media for different family members like couples, young men, young women, and so on. If anyone is interested, I have some leaflets in English and also leaflet with our latest report on the advantages of parenthood. And when people ask me what this report is about, I say that this report is about the fact that parenthood is not only good for children, it's also good for parents. So that's the latest report we made. And I also have some leaflets with the summary of the report. So my topic is question of resilience, resilient future of Europe, and I somehow modified this topic to go straightly to the point. And I suggest that this topic could be family as the key to Europe's development and resilience, local governments facing demographic change. And we also do in Poland why am I here? Because we also deal or develop the services for municipalities, and we call this program Your Municipality, the Best Place to Live. And this is what we do also with in cooperation with other NGOs in Poland, and also we have the pleasure to discuss these issues with Luciano, who spoke just before me. I want to start with some assumptions, myths, and traps that we have in our thinking about the population of the local municipalities, cities, and so on. Traps and myths about thinking about these solutions for this demographic challenge we have. And when I'm thinking, I will be speaking about families, and in more or less in general, when I say family, I mean parents with kids, because it's not that obvious these days. Family with kids, parents with kids, this is what I mean mainly by saying family. One of the myths or traps we have in these debates sometimes is that the solution must come from the outside. Yes, we are waiting for the external miracle sometimes, and quite often this so-called universal solutions turn out not to work. We in Poland, we have a lot of such cases in municipalities which thought that, well, we will get the new investor and everything will, and he will fix everything. Yes, it's not always the case. So that's one point. In terms of policies and actions, we all often tend to think that we have to do something. Okay, but at the same time, we quite often forget in the public policy, also on the state level, on the municipality level, that it's also good to what I call, we can call it the demographic audit, to make a demographic audit, how the things that already are functioning, how do they influence the situation? Maybe we should stop doing something, yes, or do something that we already do, but in a different way. That's another thing. Richard Florida, who is, I think, most famous for doing research in creative industries and so on and so on. Recently, last year, he wrote a very interesting article for Financial Times. The title of the article is "America Needs to Make Its Cities Family-Friendly Again," the main thesis of the article. And he's describing how, mainly in case of big cities, in the last 200 years, the situation and conditions for families and children in the cities, mainly in America. He shows Europe as an example of the better solutions, which is interesting. But I think that during the last decades, our cities became more and more like American in this case. He says that, well, we need to rebuild or regain the family-friendly character of our cities. And my term for this is maybe it's time for deurbanization. I will leave it aside because today we are not mainly talking about this. It's rather the topic or also topic for public officials, ministers, and so on. But I think that in Poland, for example, we have this case that we still don't see how serious demographic problem is due to the fact that we have 5, some say 7 big cities where you don't really see the demographic problem. You see crowds of people, traffic jams, and so on and so on. And outside the cities, we have the growing deserts, yes, of the population. And my final thesis is that I will conclude with is that the family is the engine, and I see that we have the representative of the FAFCE here, Teresa. It's great to see you. And also, I'm happy to see many people I know already from Italy, Sardinia, and so on. So, but I'm thinking about Fafza and Vincenzo Bassi, who likes to use this example of our thinking about the place of family in the state policy, society, and so on. And if we imagine a state as a bus, yes, we are going together for a trip on a bus, yes, and the the government is the driver of the bus, yes, and the government has different passengers, and he has to decide where should I put this and that passenger, yes, and we have seniors, we have children, we have different professional groups, we have minors, we have this industry, that we have many different entities, yes, that the government tries to find the best way. Where should I put, in the front of the bus or in the end of the bus? And then one of these passengers, according to the state, is the family. Where should I put the family? And what is wrong with this assumption? Because family is not the passenger, family is the engine of this bus. This engine will go nowhere if the engine doesn't work. So that's my final conclusion. And I would like to show four groups of arguments for this thesis. First point is that stable and enduring intact families are a driving force for the municipalities' long-term development in areas such as education, production, trade, labor market, investments, and more. Of course, we can make the list much longer. Just few, because these are quite huge topics, and each topic could be a separate discussion. So I will just give few examples what I mean by this, that families are a driving force of the long-term development. Long-term is a very important word. One of the arguments is that families are more attached to the place, to the local community, yes? If you have kids, you don't move very often and very easily, yes? Because your children, if they go to school, well, you are simply more attached by this fact. So from the perspective of the municipality, family is the best, let's say, possible inhabitant, yes? Because it's not in case, it's statistically, I'm not saying that people that are single are moving more often, they change place, change work, that it's bad. No, it's a reality, yes? And we have to see this reality that families are more attached. A family is the long-term demand driver, the most effective long-term demand driver for the economy. Yes, if you have the family that decides to have more kids, yes, which ELFAC understands very well, you can see that this is the demand driver not for 1 season, 2, 5, 7 years, it's probably 20, 30 years, yes? And economy tells us that if there is a demand, there will be supply. So demand means that the workplaces will appear, yes, because there is someone to produce for, yes, there is someone to sell to. And this is this first group of arguments. The second is, the second thesis we can call it, that well-functioning families provide a space for fostering and ensuring optimal living conditions for residents themselves. One of the examples, care for children and the elderly. Relationships, where are relationships, there is happiness, yes? We don't have doubts today that the Harvard happiness study, the most famous, I think, psychological experiment in the history, the longest, confirms clearly. relationships are the most important happiness driver for us. And families mean relationships. And good family ties mean that whether it's nuclear or intergenerational family, I will just talk about it for a moment, because it's interesting that in recent years in the literature there appeared some discussions questioning the positive aspect of the nuclear family. That's very interesting. I guess the Atlantic article was very interesting, and I think one of the most famous, which stated clearly, was the nuclear family a mistake? And of course, it's no place to discuss it. But why do I say about this? Because I think that, especially in this demographic situation we have, local municipalities may see that supporting intergenerational ties, yes, will really help them and simplify or solve many problems that they already face. Of course, the question of support within families for elderly and children is an obvious thing, but another thing that makes the quality of life better, we know that families, especially when they are able to be stable and intact, they are the best prevention for crimes, yes, and creating the environment, the local community, more safer. So this is the second group of, or second thesis. The third is that well-functioning families enhance quality of life, was already, but serve as an effective preventive mechanism against risky behaviors. This is some going in details to this general thesis I mentioned. And addictions among especially young children, but not only young. We have already a lot of scientific evidence that marriage makes men safer, healthier, wealthier, and so on and so on. So this family influence is not, this is most important, I think, and most often we mention that it's good for kids, but it's not only good for kids. Stefano Zamani from Italy, the Italian economist, also mentions about very interesting role that family plays. The family is the very important consumption filter. It's also connected with this issue of risk behaviors, addictions, and so on and so on. And I'm looking at Radek from the president of ELFAC and also the president of Polish Large Families Association. I'm thinking about this report on how large families use resources, how they, in fact, are the most effective, statistically, households in terms of sustainable use of resources. I think this is very important to say it here in the European Union. This consumption filter that the Zamani mentions means that family is always very important reference group for the individual decisions, and this interdependence between family members, if the ties are good between family members, it means that people, when they do decisions, they understand that my individual decision has social costs or results, yes. And last group, I'm coming to an end, 3 minutes. That's the clock says. The last thing I think that may be most interesting for the municipalities, for the budgets, I think we don't often see this or don't think this way, but well-functioning families lead to savings for the municipality in which areas? Public safety, I mentioned this shortly. Social assistance, and we could also talk about others. For example, and what does it mean? That families very often mitigate the effects of social pathologies, crisis, when someone loses a job and has a big family, yes, or many relatives. First thing, he has the network which will facilitate finding a job for him, and he also has the chance to get by financially, for example, or economically, until he or she finds a new job. In case of single person, it may not be that easy. And I call it that families often function as the economic airbag in society. Yes, we know airbags from the cars, yes? And I also like, in the end, I will give just one more example that we all experienced a few years ago during pandemia. Certainly in Poland, we know that there were lockdowns and so on, and nobody really asked parents if they will take up the role of the teachers, headmasters of the schools, yes, and tutors, but it simply happened, yes. If there were no families and parents ready to serve as homeschoolers, yes, what would happen to education? Probably the problems or the costs that we know that are big would be bigger. So this is a short review of the points that I think are important to think about and look at from this perspective. And in the end, I would ask 2 questions. Of course, I know that demographic problems are not easy ones. They are very complex. Sorry, this is the timer. But I think we should always ask on each level. I'm not saying only on the municipality level, but also on the state level, regional level. Do we cure the problem or just mitigate the symptoms? And I think in terms of European Union, I mentioned it in the Demographic Congress in November here. One of the examples of mitigating the demographic problem is solving the demographic problems with immigration, yes? And in terms of local municipality, I think whatever it is, municipality or state, I would ask the question, isn't it that we admit that there is no hope in our community, in our region or in our state, that we are not able to solve this problem with our people? And from this I'm coming to the last question. And it's not the question that I ask you, because I think it's the question that in such discussions and looking for solutions should be asked. Do the solutions we offer or we think about are really touching the core of the problem, or are they just a kind of anesthetic policy? Yes, we will suffer less. Yes, but in the long term, they unfortunately do not solve the core of the problems. And what I also would like from the work that Luciano does and we develop in Poland is this thinking about about this change of mindset in the municipality. And I think that those who achieved this diplomas today and can be called municipality friendly, family-friendly municipalities understand it very well. That the main thing in solving this problem is this change of mindset. And thank you very much for the things you do. And I hope that the next Congress will mean that this room will be too small to host everybody. Thank you very much for listening.
Dziękuję bardzo, Michał. Then thank you very much, because I think we have listened to very interesting speeches from Luciano and Michał to build this new frame we need to build these family policies we need. Then I would like, I apologize for the absence of Vania Freitas. She had an unexpected problem yesterday and she has written to us apologizing for her absence. But I invite now to the floor Mercedes. Mercedes, then you can have more time, not 20 minutes. If you want, you can have 30 minutes to talk about, we have talked about territorial attractiveness, innovation, people, also this frame to understand why family policies are important. And now we are to talk about the role of companies and local authorities. What role play companies to build this, to make this territory more attractive for families? Mercedes Hernandez is the director of for Alliances and International Relations of Fundacion Masfamilia. And after these three speeches, we will have we'll open a space for questions. Then you can think about your questions for the speakers. Thank you, Mercedes. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Raul. Well, I'm not going to be too long, because if we gain time, it's better to do networking. So first of all, hello again, everyone. And thank you to ELFAC to invite me in representation of Fundacion Masfamilia to be here today and to share that we are very happy to take part of this and to contribute our experience to these municipality networks, and also for the future companies network. So this kind of initiative are very important, and I'm happy to share with you our experience on that and what we do in Spain. Today I will share a simple idea that work-life balance is not only a company topic, it's also a local topic, and we will see why. Thank you. Company and municipalities can work together, and initiatives like the FR model can help to make it real and measurable. We will look at why it matters now, what municipalities can do and what companies can do, and how FR helps both. Why does it matter now? Well, we have listened to Luciano and Michael about the demographic problems and other problems we have to face as society today. But there is another problem who impact on demography is time has become a strategic measure. The lack of time is a problem for people and then for family. So in first, we have a rising care demands. Care needs are growing, as we have seen. Population are aging, and many families have 2 working adults. And as we see, the young people don't want to have children. People choose to live and work in places when life works. Childcare, transport, services, now, and we have seen it since the COVID, that to have time and to have time to live and to share with our family is most important than before. Second, time poverty increases. Many people feel time poor. They don't have enough time. When time is scarce, well-being goes down, community participation goes down, and gender equality becomes harder. And third, productivity impact. This has a direct impact on work. If childcare fails, if commuting is too long, if services are difficult, then companies see more stress, more absenteeism, and lower performance. And finally, competitive edge. Territories compete to be attractive for the population. We have seen it. Luciano has given some information about that in Italy, but it's the same in other countries. Some municipalities lose population and others are more attractive. Laws are set minimum standards, but the best places go further. They create ecosystems that attract and keep talent. So preparing a territory for the future means making the life viable for families, caregivers, and employees. So, what can municipalities influence? They have very practical levers. For example, childcare and after school. They can expand childcare capacity, affordability, and opening hours. Time is one of the strongest drivers of workforce participation. Another example is mobility and commuting. They can reduce travel time, better public transports, safer cycling, and last-mile solutions. Time saved is time gained. Service design, they can make local services easier, predictable opening hours, digital access, and one-stop centers, for example. 15 minutes logic, they can plan proximity, schools, care, shops, green areas closer to homes, and convening power, and they can bring people together, partnerships, pilots, procurement, and incentives. Now, what about companies? Companies also have key levers. For example, flexibility in time, place, and autonomy. Predictability, clear schedules, good meeting rules, and planning in advance. Care support, leave policy, services, practical help. And inclusive careers, no career penalty for caregivers. And measurement, tracking, take-up, engagement, retention, absenteeism. Alone, each actor is limited. Together, they can reach scale and real impact. So, many places run pilots and then stop. We call this pilot fatigue. So governance is essential, and it's really necessary. For example, it's necessary to create a local work-life balance plan, a formal agreement with shared commitment between municipalities and companies, a joint diagnosis, use data, and also citizen and employee voices. We need to identify the real pain points. Run focused pilot, not too much, but one or two clear ownership and resources, and shared KPI to measure take-up, satisfaction, retention, service usage, and commute time. And publish and scale. It's important to share results transparently and scale what works. Now I will show you practical menu of initiatives that you can put in place. Like, for example, child care solutions. Companies and municipalities can co-found places, reserve slots, provide vouchers, or support school holiday periods. Elder care network. Support for employees, caring for older relatives, care navigators, emergency backup, respite support, for example. In mobility and time saving, joint commuting plans, staging shifts, last mile solutions, flexible work hubs, use municipal spaces and work hubs closer to home. This reduces commuting and support local economies. And communication. Benefits only work if people trust them and understand them and, most of all, know them. So communication must be simple, clear, clean, and coordinated. So start small, measure results, and then scale. And let me introduce MasFamilia Foundation and how we contribute to this local partnership. Fundacion Masfamilia Foundation is a private, non-profit Spanish organization. We promote work-life balance from professional perspective. We have more than 20 years of experience and over 1,000 certified organizations around the world, most of them in Spain, in Portugal, and South America, in countries as Colombia, Mexico, Peru. And since last month, in December, we start to launch ELFAC in Africa, in Ivorian Coast. So we are very proud of this, because Africa is one of the continents who is growing, developing very fast, and they have a serious problem of time. For people are used to work a long period of time, to spend a lot of time in transport, and the competitiveness is very low, so they need work-life balance to promote this competitiveness, and also they are facing a decrease of birth. Africa was until now the continent with most children per woman. They have in 2006, I think, and nowadays they are in 4.5, and in the next years it's going to decrease because women are starting to. It's a continent where women work most. 56% of the women work in Africa, but now there is more women who are studying and who want to work professionally in companies, and most of the women who used to work in giving care to families, they don't want. Young people don't want that. They want to do other things. So they are facing also a problem with demography, and for them, the work-life balance is becoming something very necessary. So that's why they call us, and we have started to help them for that. So through the EFR initiative, which is a model, we aimed for social change and cultural transformation inside organizations based on flexibility, trust, commitment, and shared responsibility focused on the individual. So how does EFR contribute? These are some of the companies. I think that Spanish people, they know most of them. We have all kinds of organizations. We have very big organizations, multinational organizations, and we have also smaller SMEs, and also non-for-profit organizations, schools, and public organizations. So, EFR is a structured way to move from intention to impact. So it's necessary to have a structured approach, so to plan, implement, measure, and improve it is systematic. Then we furnish a comprehensive catalog, which is our model, which is a proven set of measures and governance tools for organizations. We also track take-up and fairness, so policies work for any, so we have to ensure that policy works for everybody. So we need to monitorize it. And in capability building, we train leaders and employees to be sure that flexibility becomes real in daily management. And at the end, we have an external verification, an independent assessment who gives credibility for employees and for partners, which is done by certifying bodies. So EFR turns work-life balance into measurable business practice. Companies gain clarity, employees gain trust, and municipalities gain reliable partners. One of the initiatives that we work with the municipalities and with also regional governments is and what we promote is to include our EFR model in the public contract, in the social part of the public contract, so that we ensure that companies who want to work for the public administration, they are companies with this culture. And so it helps to promote it. So how EFR helps also municipalities? We work together with them in main areas. We deliver diagnosis in work-life balance, and other studies are as barometers. We also give and develop work-life balance plans and awareness and training for citizens and for the business community. So one of the most important helps we give to municipalities is that we analyze local resources that support work-life balance, because it's very important to know how is the situation of the citizens and the company in the territory, in the municipality. We measure childcare, transport, services, coverage, and the effectiveness. And we also study citizen needs and perceptions to compare demand and supply. And we look at the business ecosystems that what companies does, and drivers and barriers. And we give a feedback report which helps municipalities to develop their work-life balance plan. So, as I said, we support the local entities in the design, implementation, and evaluation of their work-life balance plan. We help them to define the action areas, to develop the work-life balance services catalog. What we have discovered is that most of the government team doesn't know really all the things that impact in work-life balance. They are not aware of that. So it helps to develop this catalog and to detect what could be improved, but based on the diagnosis we have done before. So we help to this implementation of this action plan, and also we develop a strategy of communication, because as I said before, if citizen doesn't know this measure, it's like you are doing nothing. So communication is very important. That's what we have to recognize the work that this municipality does. We have certificates in work-life balance, which is called the name of the municipality and Concilia, and the municipalities become part of the European Network Family-Friendly Municipalities. They have all the criteria to be part of them. So these are some of the actions, examples we have carried out 2024 and 2025. For example, with at the regional level, with Andalucía, la Junta de Andalucía, we have done work-life balance mapping in 9 municipalities and 1 provincial council. We have done diagnosis with the voice of the citizens and the companies of these municipalities, and we have give back to each municipality a decalogue for work-life balance and recommendations for the regional governments to improve and to help municipalities to improve this work-life balance. We are also working. We have been also working with the Madrid region, the same with the work-life balance mapping in 9 municipalities that we are going to present in the next weeks. We are finishing the work with the same objective to do a feedback report for the region, but also for each municipality. And we are working also now with Alcobendas, which is the second municipality of the region of Madrid, and the biggest, the municipality with most big companies are settled. And we are doing their work-life balance diagnosis, and they will receive their certificate at the end, next month in March. And we are now with the work-life balance plan. And we are with the Boadilla del Monte, which is already a EFR municipality, with the renewal of their certificate. These are some examples of what we are, how we are working with municipalities and territories. So now to conclude, only 3 messages to remember. Work-life balance is infrastructures is not a soft benefit. It's a foundation for talent attraction, well-being, and local prosperity. Share responsibility drive results. Municipalities enable the ecosystems. Companies deliver practice. Together, the impact is bigger. And EFR scales it responsibly with governance, measurement, and evidence. We create accountability and continuous improvement. Here I give the example of Spain, of the EFR model, but of course, if there is a similar organization in other countries which are promoting work-life balance, we are very happy to share with them our experience in order that they can do the same and aprovechar. I don't find the word. Take advantage of our experience. And that's it for me. Thank you very much for listening our contribution.
Thank you, Mercedes. If you want to sit here on this table, and please, Luciano and Michalski, you can come here also, because we have an open space now for some questions to the speakers. I think all of them have been very interesting. You know, Mercedes is opening this new way. We are going to work with companies to have this integration of all the stakeholders of the municipality and companies are very important. And also Michał working on this framework of family policies, and Luciano, this strategy for municipalities. I have one question to start while people is thinking the question, because some of you were talking about this demographic decline. People is not having children, and we need this human capital, and we need this attractiveness for families in our municipalities. But sometimes people, for example, in my country, also in Spain, or others, Italy or Greece, no? They are, you know, that there are other countries in Europe that are investing a lot of money, of the GDP of the country, on family benefits, you know, good policies for work, a very good balance between work and family. I'm thinking in Nordic countries, for example. Then the question for three of you is why these policies are not working. Because Sweden, Finland, Denmark, they are giving a lot of money. They have very equal opportunities for women, you know, that are mothers. But, for example, Finland is having now the same fertility rate than Spain, practically. And we are not investing any money. We are. Then what we need to change?
Well, if you want me to start, the example of Spain, and my Spanish colleagues can add also to this question, but I think we have several problems. One of the problems is the work-life balance, that we are working hard on it, but we know that we still have problems with, and now we are coming back, you know, during the COVID period, the teletrabajo, remote working was something that helps people to have a good work-life balance. But now we are coming back to the offices. Companies are asking people to go to work to their offices. So time is becoming again a problem for people to combine both. So this is one problem, of course, for to have family. The other problem is the cost of life. That all we know that the cost of life has improved a lot, but salary not. So people don't have the capacity to have children. They would like, but they don't have the capacity to have it. And on top of that, you have young people. They don't want to have a family. Some of them because they think that the world is not a good place to have children, and it's a pity, but they think like this. And the second one, the one who want it, can't. Now in Spain, the age to leave the parents' home is 36 years old. It's horrible, because young people want to live, but they can't. There is no place to live, no possibility to buy a house, to rent a house. We have touristic pressure in Spain, very strong, and a lot of houses, which before was for renting, now has become a touristic apartment. So there is not enough place, so it's very expensive, so people cannot be independent.
Yes, you have mentioned a very interesting debate. We are in a discussion on it, because you know that some cities, for example, Barcelona, my city, or others like Florence or Paris, are thinking to ban all tourist apartments, but we are against this, because you know tourist apartments are also a very good place for families coming from outside, sometimes to visit relatives and to do some tourism, family tourism. And now there is, I think we need an equilibrium. Yes, certainly you need some parts of the city, my city Barcelona, you need to reduce the number of tourist apartments, but maybe you don't need to ban expand all tourist apartments because not family tourists will be coming to Barcelona, only the richest to pay a hotel. Then it's interesting. This discussion, you have opened a very interesting discussion. We are involved on this discussion in the housing discussion that we have now at the European level. I don't know if Luciano or Mijo, you have, because you also mentioned the economical problems, financial problems, or to be independent. Sorry, but you know that in other countries like, I don't know, Sweden or Norway, they are receiving financial support. People receive an apartment when they are 18 years old, or university, sorry. Then, you know, and they are not having children too. I don't know with what is the problem. Maybe Mijo or Luciano may...
Thank you very much. First thing is that I'm starting to stop believing the economic and material explanations of the demographic problem. This is one thing. And I think I will go back to the question of mindset. And I think we often forget in such discussions two very important factors which radically changed the mindset of Western societies: secularization and welfare state. Welfare state, of course, is a concept, is a paradise on earth concept, let's say, yes. And for many reasons, welfare state changed people's lives for better. But and I will exaggerate a little bit. What do you think about the statement that the standard of life connected with the welfare state became a religion? We talk about young people quite often, and we say we need to give them this and that and so on. And we often forget that, and I think this is experience of a lot of us from earlier generations, that once we got married, once we became parents, we started to see that somehow we were able to work hard and earn a flat to get the infrastructure we needed for our families. Yes, we were not, if the material economic explanations would be true, our parents, our grandparents shouldn't have children at all. That's one thing. Just to summarize this welfare state, I'm claiming that the welfare state radically changed the mindset of people in the very basic thing. Welfare state disconnected or influenced that people no longer connect in their minds that having children is the building block for a state, economy, and the society to develop, to function. Welfare state promises, and that's why I say that it became somehow a secular religion, because it promises, I state will take care of you, my citizen, when you are old, when you are weak, when you are sick. So you need only me. And people believe this. And what happens in case of young people? And this welfare state influence, unfortunately, formed or created a lot of injustices, systemic injustices, which we have, for example, in Poland, but I think in other states, like in the pension systems, yes? And young people, I'm not saying they're this or that, because sometimes they say, well, the young people these days are so strange, so bad, they don't want to have children. I think they are rational in many cases. If there is no religious motivation, which secularism somehow eliminates, they make rational choices. And if they see that the social and economic system is built in such a way that if I don't choose parenthood, if I don't choose family, I will be better off in the future in terms of economic gains, standard of living. And economics, because I'm also economist, has very well developed concepts for this: the tragedy of the commons and the free rider problem. Yes, that there are always in the economic social system situations when people, if they can, they choose the shortcuts, the easier ways. And I also, if someone is interested in English, I also wrote, and we published it with Arpad also in Kapocs, which Arpad is also representing in the Hungarian journal, the full article about the family policy and social justice. And I'm shortly, like what I'm talking about is also taken from this. So I think we need to also rethink how we created, what system we created in terms of what does the system benefits in the end, yes? And I do believe that young people make rational choices, and in very many cases, rational choice is not to have children, not to start a family. Thank you.
Thank you. Certainly, yes, we have a problem. This is the welfare system is based in the replacement of generations. That if we don't have replacement of generations, then we have to rethink how to organize this welfare system, because if not, we have a fight now between baby boomers that are going to be retired and the young people, that they are very few people, yes.
It's fact that you are right, it's based on the generations replacement, but it's not communicated by the system. And it's not, as you mentioned, well-being, work-life balance is an infrastructure. This assumption is not the part of the welfare state infrastructure, we could call it like this. It's, people don't when they, what I mean, welfare state doesn't say it loud, yes, that it is all based on the replacement of the generations. Thank you.
Luciano?
Yeah, for the question, thank you for the question, Raul. Why we cannot export the Scandinavian model in other regions? Why the good practices are always good practice, and on long-term strategies we change this. This is a discussion that we have in Italy. But I think we have 3 points for me are important. The first is, I think don't exist one policies that have the possibility to solution is not the solution of the problem. We need an ecosystem of policies. We have to work to money, the income is important, the work-life balance is important, the flexibility is important, the gender policies are important, the well-being in the companies, the municipality is important, but is not sufficient. This is important, but not this sufficient, this ecosystem to change the model. We have a cultural problem. I say in my presentation, family is a problem. Normally, family is in social policies and not in well-being policies. Because, why in this concept is totally new in the municipality, in the companies. The role of the ELFAC is to improve this new concept. The family is not a problem, it's a resource. And in this new paradigm in which the population is scarce, the population is a resource scarce, this is more important in this transition. The DINK model, the DIC model are devastating, no, in our context. And I think the priority for me is young people, to work to young people, to new culture in young people. In Italy, we have a big problem. The young people are in parental home, go out to the home of parental in 31 years. It's not more children, it's not young, adult in parental home. And the first child is in 40, 34 years. It's too late, no? And the priority is to young people, and the Scandinavian model is different. The difference to young people to remain in home in Italy and Finland, the difference is 30 years. The young people in Finland go out to the parental home 30 years before the Italian people. So we have to work in this context to improve new strategies for young people.
Thank you, Luciano. If any one of you have a question. Yes. Radek?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. I have one question, in fact, to Michał, but also to Mercedes and Luciano. And it relates to demography, to more or less to the thing that we just discussed. There are many opinions on why there are less children being born, and we have had even in Poland recently few books issued on this topic. But I would say this is, I have my own opinions as well. The question is if there is, if you are aware, if there exists, a proper scientific research up to date on this topic. We had in Poland, like 10 years ago, a survey made by a proper company, serving company, that asked this question to people from 16 to 24-year-old. If they want to have family, if they want to have children, how many children do they want to have? It was quite simple, and I think it was not very broad research. But at that time, it was 10 years ago, generally the answers in Poland were that young people wanted to have families, and they wanted to have more children than in reality they would have in their lives. I'm not sure what is the situation now, to be honest, because of course we have these opinions that young people don't want to have families, they want to be singles, or young people want to have families but they do not have capabilities to create stable relationships, to enter into marriages, or they do not, they cannot find proper partner, or they just cannot have biologically children. But where is the truth? I had my own ideas, and I thought I had a truth. But then I met during recent months several young people on the plane, and I had just accidental discussions, and I was surprised with what they were saying, and it stopped me thinking that maybe the answers are not that simple. And the question is whether we have this in Poland or Italy or Spain being searched, like by a proper scientific research, or this is the work to be done by, I don't know, psychologists, sociologists, some statistical, just proper deep research.
I'll start. Thank you very much, Radek. I hope that if the idea that, because we also cooperate with Kinga in Hungary, we also opt for doing such research in terms of young people Europe-wide, yes, to have comparisons and so on. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that we have examples from different countries. We work together on the article about young people in Poland and Hungary, and Hungarian team has such results. We have Polish results. Just two cases from last year's Institute Pokolenia Generations Institute did large research. Unfortunately, they were not able to publish it because they were, closed by the new government. The only official government demographic institute created in Poland was closed by the new government. That's one thing. And we did such similar research in 2023. And just to shortly mention the main results, 60% of young people, it was 16, 20, 24, they want to have family and children, and 70% wants to get married, be in the union. Yes, not especially with children. So 60% wants to be married and have children. What's very interesting, and I think there is a big anxiety, and we have a lot, because in the end we should put different puzzles like books like Anxious Generation. I think it explains a lot by Jonathan Haidt. Yes, why am I talking about anxiety? In our research we also tried to test what do they think about the stability of marriage. And 40% of young people in Poland, already before they get married and have family, they don't think about marriage as a stable and long-term, non-breakable relationship. I think what is it? I think it's partly fear, anxiety of the relationships in general, and I know that we know already a lot of this anxiety and fear, and also difficulty in building relationships among young people these days. And I'm happy that more and more often we talk about this issue, that the basic reason today is that they are not able to build long-term lasting relationships and sustain them. And we all know that it's like the starting point for having a family in general. And last thing, comment on the research, and people say that they want, and in the end that's the, I would say, original problem of the social research. Yes, in the end the easiest way to see what people want is to ask them. Yes, and I sometimes, when we talk with our team members about this research, I'm starting to question if, for example, in Poland, but also in other states, is it that people want to have children, or do they only say that they want to have children? And this is something we cannot test in the surveys, in the research, with the tools we have. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sometimes in Spain we have the same service, and sometimes you have this. Some young people want really to have children, but they really know that they won't not be able to have it, when they want, because the conditions. This is, the wish and the reality. Any other questions? Sorry, Alberto. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much for your talks. Well, I agree with Michael that we can maybe ask about the system more than the problems, because maybe the question is what system we want, what economy we want, what we want to invest on, because in some points I think that the culture shapes the economic system, but also the economic system can shapes the culture. In that case, the strongest way is if we put the first thing, the economic system, then it's gonna be the economic system which shapes the culture, and we have to change that, not put the culture first and the economic system the second. In that way, that maybe is a question that a little bit controversial, but the thing is that the population is decreasing in Europe, but at the beginning of the 19th century we were almost 200 million of people in the continent. right now, I think, in continentally speaking, we are almost 700 million. What's the problem to be less or more people? The thing is, the system that we created needs more people, but that's needed for the system, not for to live in the earth on our cities, no. And the problem of that is that, and that question is for Luciano. He was speaking about attracting people to our cities, but what kind of people we want to attract? I mean, with which background? Because maybe because the system needs people, we have to attract people, and how to maintain then the identity of our cities, the identity of our nations, just attracting people of other places that maybe are culturally different, and it's, of course, they are allowed to come and they are invited to come, but we are also speaking of that right of stay, and the right of stay is for the people, no? Then some people right now, there are problems in some neighborhoods because they are living in a neighborhood that there is no neighborhood anymore, no? There is like, they are free to stay in their neighborhood, that there is no more in their neighborhood because it's in some kind was change because of that attraction of without limits, no? Then that's the question, how we can maintain our identity, our community with and the attraction of people, or maybe we don't know, we don't need too much people to maintain our system. No? Thank you.
Yeah, this is a big question. This is an international question, the attractiveness, and for the people problem that is a scarce resource. We have three possibilities. The first is natality, but if make the good policies now, we see the results in 20 years, maybe. So the second is immigration. The policies now, we have a lot of continents with a lot of people and other continents without people. But we know that is a problem, a big problem today. And in Italy, we have a specific law about this to attract only one sort of people, okay? This is a big problem. And I want not to discuss about this here. The third is attractiveness, to render more attractive the municipality, the company. And this is not international strategies, it's a local strategy. And if I have a good municipality with a good policies for the children, for the people, for the elderly, for all people, maybe the people that live in other municipality that don't have these policies come in my municipality. Okay, this is a big problem in Italy. Why the competitiveness is now in the people strategy, not only for economic strategies. And this is a good for us question. This we have the possibility to improve good policies in attractiveness in company, in municipality, to attract the people in the other municipality. In Italy, okay, but in Trentino we have a problem. The driver of a bus, the bus driver. We don't have bus driver. We make a specific strategy to go in South America. In South America, we have a lot of Italian people. And make in South America a training about the bus driver. And come the people already training in this model. This is another strategy. Is correct? I don't know if it's correct. some problems there are in this context. But the good question is to create a new context in which the attractiveness is an economic possibility to improve the local economic development. Without people, we don't improve this. The picture are really stronger about this. I emphasizing this question, but we are in this situation.
Yes, sorry, we are 5 minutes later. I don't know, we have a last question.
Yeah, thank you for your questions. Very, very interesting. I would like to underline that family policies, the way we talk about them at this level of our network, are first of all well-being policies, and maybe they don't bring results in terms of natality. But after all, families we family association, we are not too much, we don't care too much about that because we have our children already. It's more your business, the politician's business. But people live better, and this is a very big result. I mean, also, for a municipality, this I think could be the goal to reach in itself. But I would like to ask you, we have talked about why young people don't have children, but I would like to ask you, why should they have children? And what communities and workplace can offer them?
It's a long answer, I think, but if it's possible to answer.
So I would try to quickly answer, because when I talked about secularization, I think, of course, this topic of optimal population number, it's the philosophical and, too wide question. But if someone would say, well, secularization, maybe not. But if we take, the main document, let's say, not for the European Union, but for the Western civilization, which is the Bible, yes? In the Old Testament, you have the first sentences, go and multiply, yes? And in the end, because I had such discussions, how many people should there be in Poland, in Europe, and so on and so on? In the end, I think the decision is made, do you agree to this statement, go and multiply, or do you not agree? And if you, it makes a basic difference. And just finally, because you asked about the systemic issue before, it's also a very wide topic. I would quickly say, on the systemic level, stop punishing people for having families and having children. And this leads to family policy and social justice. Every kind of policy should be filtered through is it a just policy or unjust? And
thank you. We have to finish this section, but I invite Matthew, if you want to return to the place you were before, and to stay Luciano and Mercedes, and please Radek Baskiewicz, if it's possible, to come here to the table. Radek is the president of the European Large Families Confederation from Poland, and now we are going to sign the agreements with the Bruno Kessler Foundation, where Luciano is working. Bruno Kessler Foundation is a foundation in Trento, a governmental foundation. The idea is to provide to the network these theoretical concepts to advance in our work, and Mercedes as a representative of the Masfamilia Foundation to support technically also this European network of family-friendly companies. Then please, if we have the agreements here to be signed, Regina? Yes, this is only the Masfamilia Foundation, and the other one, the Bruno Kessler? No? Okay, you have first. Perfect. Then you can sign, and please take Kira, if you're here, to take some pictures of this. Kira? Kira. Here. please. Yes, we need photos of this, yes. And now, while they are signing these agreements, we are going to for the lunch. The lunch is by yourself, but it's in the cafeteria of the Parliament. Then we can go down and go to the cafeteria, and you can find there a place for lunch. If you want, you can go outside also, but you can use the cafeteria here, and we can meet again at 2 p.m. to the second part of this Congress, to start with also the presentation of good practices. We have had the first section is the theoretical part, and the second section is the good to share these good practices from municipalities. Then thank you for signing. And also thanks to the speakers this morning. I don't know, Radek, if you want to say something as president to close this.
I just want to thank you very much, Mercedes and Luciano. MasFamilia Foundation is a very big partner, and Bruno Kessler Foundation, another big partner. And we really, all the things that were said here, both by Luciano and Mercedes, we strongly believe that they can work together, and we will create or improve the systems. Municipalities, companies, NGOs, they can all work together to create better conditions for better life for our children and grandchildren and grandchildren. And we really believe it is possible. And this is what all these agreements are about. And we want to thank you very much for your willingness to cooperate with us. It's a great honor and great hopes for us. Thank you so much.
Close, please. Thank you very much. And now we have, as I said, 1 hour and a half for the lunch time, but please, we have to try to be punctual to start at 2 p.m. here on this room. Thank you.
No, they were clicking, I'm saying. So if you click now, click it.
Say no.